This is, it's all about female empowerment. I knew I could not come back with, a whole record of love songs, because that's not reality. Life is not always happy and full of love. Even though I'm very happy in my life, I knew that would be boring, because that's what I did last year. So I did go back to female empowerment and women finding themselves and standing up for themselves and not putting up with stuff they shouldn't be putting up with if they have self-esteem. And it's very vulnerable still.
Yeah.
It's not like Superwoman,
Yeah.
All right, guys, happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. I was having a great weekend, totally normal. Went to the farmer's market with the kids, took them to the toy store. And then somebody texted me and said that Beyonce's mommy came for me on Instagram. I said, what? Excuse me? Tina Knowles? What have I done to deserve this? This is so wrong. We're going to talk about that. Hey, welcome to Candence. So my little sister called me this morning. She's like the nice one, the soft one. And she told me to remember that we were raised to show respect to our elders. She said, be nice to Ms. Tina Knowles. And I am going to be nice. I'm going to be as gentle as I possibly can to Beyonce's mammy going on here. But I have to say, I am not Becky with the good hair. I'm not going to tolerate this, trying to play the culture, thinking everyone's going to think it's a slam dunk. Oh, no, we're not doing that. There will be a response here. So let me just back it up to give everyone a refresher of how this drama all started. So Kamala lost the election. And then people were stunned when a political reporter broke the story that despite having $1 billion in the bank at the start of this year, the Biden-Harris campaign ended with negative $20 million. This was the tweet. This is the reporter, Christopher Cadelago. He wrote Kamala Harris's campaign ended with at least $20 million in debt, per two sources familiar. She raised over $1 billion and had $118 million in the bank as of October 16th. So just a couple of weeks before the election, this woman had $118 million in the bank, and then it all magically evaporated. And then the DNC staffers and the campaigners began pointing the finger at one another as to who or what was to blame for this colossal failure and also just financial irresponsibility. And in the midst of the blame game, a Kamala campaign staffer leaked to the press. Make that clear. A Kamala campaign staffer leaked to the press with specific amounts that musical celebrities had been paid for their endorsements. Allegedly, they listed Megan Thee Stallion, they listed Eminem, and they listed Beyonce with specific amounts. So again, let's not forget this. The rumor came from Kamala's campaign, and then it blew up, and it was everywhere, absolutely everywhere. I was actually late to covering it. I was 4 days late to covering the news item on my own show. But I'm just going to refresh your memory that this did not come from Candace Owens, and everyone was reporting this. Here is Fox News, the show outnumbered, a host, 5 or 4 hosts discussing it. Take a listen.
So I was really curious to see, did any of those celebrities, Beyonce, $10 million. Did she vote for Kamala Harris?
Right.
I mean, and for one, just Megan Thee Stallion got, $5 million. I don't know, and Kamala Harris doesn't know what these people would do if they got that money. And as I understand it, some of the fundraising emails that you were just talking about were still going out Tuesday night at 10 p.m.
Okay, no response from Beyonce's mammy. Then Patrick Bet-David, alongside Charlie Kirk and a host of other people, discussed it on the PBD podcast. Take a listen.
They gave Oprah Winfrey $1 million. I bet Oprah's pissed off that they gave Beyonce 10 times what they gave her.
It's Chris Cuomo up there as well. Again, no response from Beyonce's mammy. And then the biggest podcaster in the world, discussed it on his podcast alongside comedian Jeff Dye. Let's listen to Joe Rogan.
How much did Beyonce get?
She got $10 million.
$10 million?
But hold on. She talked for like 3 minutes. That's good.
What do you mean that's good?
That's enough.
That's too much.
No, it's plenty. It's perfect.
10 million.
It's a good deal. It's a good deal. The taxpayers' money. It's a good deal. All these people that are like donating money to the Democratic Party, and there's $20 million in debt. It's a crazy thing.
Mutants.
So it's worth noting that during this time frame, the Daily Mail, Newsweek, publications left and right went out to Kamala's campaign and Beyonce's team multiple times to confirm these reports, to confirm these amounts. Both refused to respond to it. So then Candace Owens covers it on her show, again, late to the party last week. And apparently this is what broke Beyonce. Beyonce just completely had some sort of a mental breakdown and called her mommy about this. And it's like Candace Owens is saying what everybody else has been saying for an entire week, but this is Candace Owens. And this must have been what led her team to decide to phone it in to Mark Zuckerberg, which, by the way, is 100% what happened. Take this to the bank, okay? Somebody had a contact at Meta. And they contacted Meta and said, can you take down Candace Owens' post, despite the fact that this went viral and it was everywhere? She wanted my post about it to be removed. And to be clear, in my post, I said, allegedly. Joe Rogan is not saying allegedly there. I was clear that it was a report. I was clear of where exactly the report came from and said that it was still pending because we were awaiting the FEC final report, which is supposed to come from Kamala's campaign, which would include amounts to Beyonce. And so when you have a report, and when you're basically saying this is allegedly, it's coming from this campaign, there's no way that you can get this taken down from Instagram. Again, because those words, allegedly, it's a report, and we're waiting for a confirmation, protect you. There's no standard for this. And still, Beyonce and her team managed to get my post taken down specifically, my post being the only post that was taken down. I'm just showing you this. They flagged this as false information reviewed by third-party fact checkers, and you can still see the caption we put on that. We put the word allegedly next to it. Beyonce was paid $10 million to endorse Kamala, ? Allegedly. So it's really shocking. Even in the article, they are rating this false, but they say that they can't debunk the report. It just says, well, there's no evidence for this just yet, which basically means, look, Beyonce's team's upset. We don't have evidence for it yet. So we're going to take it down just to placate them. Absolutely ridiculous, pathetic. I think it's spineless. And like, of all of the things that have been said about me on the internet, every day there's something fake that I said. I promise you, I never said it. I'm being attacked. I'm like, there's no clip of me saying it. There's no means for me to ever get it taken down, but she was able to do this. It was a total elitist move. Anyways, Mammy Tina decides to brag about these elitist connections that someone was clearly able to pull behind the scenes, able to pull these strings and target just Candace Owens. And she posted this to her Instagram page. She posted, so this, and this is a picture of my show page, so this has been flagged on Instagram as fake news and taken down. It's called false information. Sadly, other platforms with a lack of integrity still have it up. So she's admitting this is just a target of Candace Owens. The lie is that Beyonce was paid $10 million to speak at a rally in Houston for Vice President Kamala Harris, when in fact Beyonce did not receive a penny for speaking at presidential candidate Vice President Kamala Harris's rally in Houston. In fact, she actually paid for her own flights for her and her team and total glam. She's not even aware of how privileged that sounds. They are not only lying and disrespecting Beyonce's name, but they are trying to further discredit the power of our vice president. When does the lies and rumors stop? She meant to say when do. Of course, you won't see this in the news! ! Times 5. Okay, so parking aside the fact that Tina Knowles is still grifting off her ex-husband's last name, so people know that she's related to Beyonce. To be clear, Tina and her ex-husband Matthew divorced 13 years ago. Her name is Tina Lawson, not Knowles, but let's keep up the Knowles so people can put some respect on your name. We have to seriously ask ourselves why she chose to target just me, which, by the way, this whole post, as cool as she thought she was with John Legend in the comments, just being like, yeah, you got her. It was actually not well received by the public at all. So I'm going to show you the comments under the Instagram page which broke the story, which was the neighborhood talk. And you can see we're just showing you these comments in a row. Somebody writes, Tina, hush. Next person says, she's basically saying they got a bigger bag than a messy 10 million. How preposterous is that? She then says, she lost me at discredit vice president. Hope when the receipts are publicly posted, that'll be the end of that, allegedly. Next person says, that ish public record, go ahead. Next says, I know she is Beyonce's mom, but she does too much. Next person says, Tina, give it up, please. On the following page, it's more of the same. Beyonce never speaks for herself. She was paid, Tina. Beyonce doesn't do anything for free. She got paid. Next person, she was definitely paid. This actually makes Kamala look bad because if the celebrities wasn't paid, then where is all that money at? And lastly, this person says all of these artists denying being paid and the campaign funds literally got drained to negative digits. How? 10 years ago, comments like that would have been unfathomable. That many Black people openly speaking out and questioning the queen in this way. The queen could do no wrong 10 years ago. Oh my gosh, you said one thing about Beyonce. The whole hive came for you. You were over. You were done. Couldn't touch one hair on her pretty head. We now fast forward 10 years and you have Candace Owens casually stating that I don't even think that Beyonce's had a good album since 4. She's just a part of the establishment machine. Everything she does, no matter what, they pretend that it's amazing and that it's awesome. And quite frankly, it's not a challenge to her. It's not a challenge to her to be told, like her and Taylor Swift are, that everything they do is amazing, even when it sucks. So Beyonce and her mommy targeted me, this is my belief, because I'm emblematic of something that frustrates them. It's a changing social economy in the world where what has always worked for them in the past is no longer interesting to the public. This is an economy where authenticity pays. And Beyonce does not remember what it means to be authentic anymore because she's been playing the role of a queen for so long, and she's grown so accustomed to simply visiting the Commonwealth every 4 years. She comes out. Nobody knows where she is first, and she comes out, and she reminds us all who we should be voting for. Ah, yes, Hillary Clinton. Please, I'm here, Commonwealth. You people, remember, I am your queen, her and Jay-Z. Oh, yes, please vote for Kamala. As a mother, I'm telling you to do this. Like I said, 10 years ago, Beyonce and Jay-Z telling us who to vote for, that would have mattered, but it just doesn't anymore. Actually, it's annoying. People find it to be somewhat annoying. Beyonce, listen to me, girlfriend, because I know you're watching. You don't got a text from your mommy's burner account on Instagram. You're annoying now. It's just tired, okay? You got to switch it up, do something new. Seem like a person, pretend you care about the Commonwealth. Maybe every 2 years, come out, do a podcast, pretend to be a human being. All of this is just tired because thankfully we now live in a world that looks and sounds like this. Watch this clip of Donald Trump walking out at UFC over the weekend.
45, soon to be 47, President-elect Donald Trump.
I wish the people at home could hear the sound in this room.
It's so loud in here.
It is so loud. It's always loud when he comes here, but now that he's won, now that he's the president again, oh my God.
The sound that you're hearing, Ms. Tina Knowles and Beyonce, are fighters, people that literally train their bodies in ways that are absolutely incredible. And most of them, in fact, all of them that I have met have backstories where they came from absolutely nothing. You're hearing blue collar workers, you're hearing truckers, you're hearing drivers, you're hearing people that Beyonce likely calls to fix things when they're broken. Okay, those are the people that are screaming, excited that Donald Trump has been elected. People who would never in a million years spend $2,000 for a seat to watch you sing at your concerts. And so simply, this is just not a world that Beyonce and her mommy know. That's what's happening. By the way, John Jones won the heavyweight belt that night. He defended his heavyweight belt that night. And when he did, he decided to do the viral Trump dance. Take a look at this.
Spinning back kick to the body, followed by the Trump dance.
And then he elected to give his heavyweight belt to Donald Trump, who was octagon side. Watch this, Beyonce.
Tonight it is all about John Jones sharing the belt there with the president-elect Donald Trump. Americans, largely historically, have realized the most success in the UFC. And the greatest American fighter of all time is that man, John Bones Jones, now successful in the first defense of his heavyweight title.
I know Beyonce's used to being bowed down to by black women like me, calling her a queen. And when she sees people like him, she assumes that, of course, they don't support Donald Trump. No, they must be more enamored by her husband, Jay-Z, the thug life. Maybe that's the music he should be walking out to. That is, I believe, what Beyonce and her mommy think. That is why they're frustrated with people like me who don't respect that anymore. There's nothing that you do that I respect. And I don't dislike you. I want to be very clear. I don't find Beyonce to be someone that is bothersome in any way. But I'd like some answers. I think the public, if you want to start with being authentic, maybe give us some answers about Diddy's parties. Your husband's been close with him. You think we're just going to pass all by that and you're going to, flip your hair and talk about another one of his affairs and people are going to lose interest in it because your mommy is tweeting and calling things fake news that haven't even been confirmed to be fake news? I would really caution you to see which way the wind is blowing, girlfriend, because it is not in your favor. And that's all I'm going to say on that topic.
No, I'm listening to what you got to say.
I was just going to say, I mean, I feel like the second half of that is like, well, what are we even talking about here? Why would she address anything, had to do with anything about a Diddy anything? But when she's...
That sounds crazy.
Right? But when she's... what Candace Owens is saying, and I think it's bigger than Beyonce, because she does make it clear that she doesn't dislike Beyonce. She's just more so speaking to the fact of celebrity not hitting the same when it comes to political things.
I don't believe that either.
Well, okay, so that's one point. Mm-hmm. Now, the second thing she talked about was the money. And in her caption, because Miss Tina Knowles did respond to Candace Owens, and I'll read that response. In Candace Owens' caption, she says, Beyonce is just being a whiny baby because she should have responded when people reached out to her team asking was she paid, because a lot of celebrities like Cardi B responded. Cardi responded directly to Candace the
Because
minute that
Cardi B
tweeted.
responds doesn't mean Beyonce has to respond to any question that anybody has, right?
I agree. I don't believe that Beyonce, I mean, it's not in Beyonce fashion to do that anyway.
Right.
But I do think that there has been conversation about how well does celebrity hit when it comes to politics. Now, Charlotte, you had something you wanted to say.
No, there's a few things, right? Like, when you say people like Beyonce aren't authentic, that's an interesting conversation because everybody's authentic isn't the same. Beyonce's authentic is different than everyone else's. In fact, celebrities like Beyonce have to do things to make themselves seem regular. And guess what? That's not authentic. Yeah. She has to be authentically her. We don't live her life. We don't know what it is to be Beyonce. Her authentic is different. Is all I'm saying.
That's a big wow. She said that precise. She said that with all her might and soul. And I was in agreement with every bit of it. Yeah. Number one, something that I just learned here, that Kamala Harris is negative in 20 million. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's somebody that will rule the country.
Oh my goodness.
And watch over our economy.
Like I have no respect for Kamala Harris in the beginning. Now I really don't have more respect for her. It's because you're negative 20 million. All these celebrities that you paid for, allegedly, you could have saved some money on that.
It makes sense. It makes sense because that means if she would have won, all the whole celebrities would just be there, taking all the money out. Because what else? If you can give celebrities this amount, what else will happen if you are in that office?
Exactly. Man, I love how Candace Owens, she brought up every detail so perfect, like the news, other social media platforms, but then they pick on her. And the first person who brought the rumor out and all this was the person that worked for Kamala.
Yeah.
So why won't you correct them first, But they pick on Candace Owens because Candace Owens has proven herself right.
Yeah.
Everybody trusts her. Yeah. She says what she says. She's not afraid. And we can't even trust Fox News, CNN. We can't really trust them. So nobody cares about what they say, but we care about what Candace Owens say, because as of right now, she has not failed us. And they're jealous of that. She got a lot of power. And it's so crazy how Tina Knowles have to belittle a woman, attack her. And it's crazy to me. It's looking stupid, immature, and it's like Beyonce don't have no voice. Why didn't she speak up? It's looking stupid. Like, are you 2 years old, Beyonce, or what?
I know. And I love how she really addressed that. If it was 10 years ago, people were still blind. But now people are waking up. Hey, we don't need you and Jay-Z coming out anyhow to tell people what to do anymore because we know who you guys are. You guys really sucks. Like, nobody wants to see you.
No.
That's what she wanted to do, because she'd always say, I want to be like Michael Jackson. I'm like, yeah, well, who doesn't? Whose kid doesn't? She showed a lot of confidence, and that was my main thing, is I saw the joy in it.
And all the fans around the world, I love you. God bless you. Thank you.